more than 2,000 years of service. With locations in Lincoln, Omaha, and Kansas City, they're united in quality, integrity, and professionalism to create excellence in construction. Learn more today at stevensondsmith.com.
Announcing Acres' end of summer sales event. Acres has dropped its prices on select late model John Deere tractors, combines, and corn heads. Act now and upgrade your equipment before harvest season. Trade in your old equipment today and get unbelievable discounts that could save you over $100,000. With great financing options and our A-plus support, there's no better time to buy. Visit your local Acres store or see the huge savings at acres.com. That's AKRS.com to see the best prices in the nation.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation right now at appliedconnective.com.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is the Don't Punt Hour with former Nebraska receiver.
Throwing over the middle, completes the pass. He's got speed to the end zone. Touchdown. 45 yards.
And return specialist. This time he beats the kicker in one more. DeMornay Pierson-El.
Not only does the sideline have confidence in Pierson-El, but Pierson-El has confidence in Pierson-El.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome into the Don't Punt Hour at Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. As always, a little bit of a different setup here, so don't worry if it looks like I'm hiding behind the computers. We're still getting things ironed out here, but we got the host, as always, DeMornay Pierson-El, streaming in, and if you guys want to join in, as always, use the card name and text line 402-464-5685. The stream's always a great way to put a face to the voice. DeMornay Pierson-El, got some Husker football lined up I want to talk about today, but first, before doing so, how's it going on this Sunday?
It's going, power's back on, so I'm good.
Oh, yeah. Did you lose power at all?
Yeah, I did.
How long did it take? I heard even today that there's still some people out there in Omaha that still don't get power.
Mine actually fairly came back on pretty quickly. I think, it happened with that Thursday?
Yeah, it would have been Wednesday night last week.
I think my power came back on about like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, so it wasn't too bad, but I still know some people who don't have power, so yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, that's not an understatement. I know here in Lincoln, just our water system alone was running on generators, which is a little worrisome. They're telling everybody, like, hey, maybe don't water the lawns tonight with the sprinklers. Let's all pull back. It did just rain a bunch too, so make sure you turn that stuff off. But hopefully everybody's got power back. I think Lincoln's covered. Obviously, people in Omaha, hopefully by now they got something set up. But yeah, just a crazy storm nonetheless. Good to have your power back on. But anyways, let's go ahead and dive into it. I do want to talk some Husker football, but before I do that, I got to ask, does the name Dijon Lee give you any reminders? We just had Barry Thompson and DP on. They had some stories about the guy and some of your guys' matchups. Give me one story that you can remember because we just got a few of them on the show before you.
Man, it's fun. It's funny. He actually just hit me on Instagram because he ran against Lyles Noah. So he was like, "Man, that was before your time." I was like, "No, I was there that day." I was like, "He was just in your heat. He wasn't in mine." But he was a pest. He was. I would probably say he was probably the only athlete in the Northern Virginian area that I just hated going against him. He was just annoying. He's like a gnat. We played him in football, and literally, like, his job was literally to annoy me, tire me out, whatsoever. One of the only few people to actually tackle me in like an open field, and for whatever reason, like every time I went to stop and do something, like he would always shoot his gun at the right time and place. And he would always seemingly get me, and it was the most annoying thing ever. But heck of an athlete. I think he started his college career off at Army, and then transferred to Delaware. I know he was in the XFL for a little bit and whatnot. I think he was with some pro team. I can't remember exactly who, but man, he was annoying. He was fast and quick, every bit of 5'3". So I mean, you really had to make sure, you know, that you would get him, because he would just dip under your hand, and it's just it was kind of like a wrestling technique. Like he would kind of like get on the ground and lunge and tackle you. So it was annoying, but he was a heck of an athlete. If he was probably taller, he'd be playing for, you know, an even bigger college.
Yeah, I'm looking at his stats from Delaware. It's you mentioned it. Although I got to double down here. What height did you say? I gotta give him some respect here.
I said 5'3". I mean, it's still a little light jab.
If he's listening out there, that's devastating to be called 5'3". No, he's 5'7", but nonetheless, still incredibly impressive. I just recommend it if you want to go see something crazy. Go look at some highlights of him at 5'7". What is it about a guy that's short that just catches you off guard? I mean, it sounds terrible to say, but the athleticism with him is pretty clear. But being at 5'7", does it just catch you off guard because you're just not expecting?
He was different. You know, he always kept a smile on his face. He would talk trash, but it wasn't nothing like too crazy. He wouldn't get under my skin or anything like that. But it was just, he was just shadowing me everywhere. He was different. Like I said, it's not. I face short guys. Didn't really, you know, have a problem or anything like that. But like I said, he always has some weird technique to get around it. So it was like you never, and it was like, all right, like I know it's coming. Like I said, is he going to be earlier? Is he going to kind of like wait till I shoot my gun to shoot his? So it was kind of like a chess match with him. Like you never knew exactly, you know, what exactly he was coming. Like when exactly, you know, he would pull the trigger on things. And I was like, he was just as quick as he was as fast. And like I said, he was just a pest. So it's like you always had to account for him. He was so short you would miss him, but he would be he would get to places, you know, in a blink of an eye, and it's like damn, like all right.
Who's faster? Are you going to give him the edge on speed, or is that still you?
We've raced before. I think he's gotten me a couple times. He'll probably say he's faster. Here and there, it's different. He might be faster, but I'm quicker. And I mean, when I say he's fast, he might be maybe by like a step, maybe two at most. So I mean, there's been many of touchdowns scored, but a flat out race, I think we've only like raced like twice in track. And I'll probably say it's even. He won one, I won one. So I mean, it's kind of a push there.
Even if it's close, it just tells you the speed he has. I'm being like, that's good compliment. And even if you're saying it's close, even if not definitely faster, even if there's a few races where he might have caught you, it says a lot. So again, I'll say it one more time. If you want to have fun, go look at some highlights of Dejan Lee. 5'7", not 5'3", but fun as hell to watch.
He's definitely had a couple saving tackles on defense against me, to where, you know what I'm saying, I wasn't really paying attention. I done juked or made the last person miss, and just before as I turn things on, he's there, and it's just like, bro, like leave me alone.
Is it the type of guy that would chase you all the way across the field?
Yes.
Not giving up on him.
Like he doesn't get tired. He's not scary. He's strong. He can, his bench pressing numbers was crazy. His track numbers was crazy. Like he was a juggernaut. I'm not gonna lie. Like he was a heck of a player.
Yeah. And again, this is me just learning this stuff, but I recommend go even back on YouTube if you after this hour, or actually, excuse that, probably not till 10 o'clock when we're done with weeknights, but go listen one-on-one. Barry Thompson, Fairfax Academy, great coach. Always got a lot of insight. Told some stories there. And yeah, DP, you got your fair share of stories as well. Those guys having to coach against you. It's a great listen. I highly recommend it. But I do want to switch gears here because I want to get to this before we go to our first break. We got to talk about the Michigan Wolverines. Could be in some hot water here. Now their head coach, obviously Jim Harbaugh, moves to the NFL because he wanted to go to the NFL. Sure, a lot of it, there's a lot of baggage at Michigan. That's not going to be fun to have to deal with. Possible suspensions. Who knows how severe the penalties could be. Some people saying it's going to be pretty light. Some people a little more skeptical saying it maybe affect postseason. But certainly I don't think anybody's saying it's going to take awards away. Now, the problem is Moore is currently under heat as well. The new Michigan head coach, Sharon Moore, is linked to the ongoing investigation due to 52 text messages that were retrieved from his phone. Should have just threw the phone away, but he decides to delete them, thinks they can't get that back. They found 52 text messages between him and obviously the ex-Wolverine coach, Connor Stallions. What do you make of this? How serious does it start to get now? I mean, you got 52 messages that were tried to be hidden. They recovered it anyways. Again, but kind of blows my mind that at this level, you just don't throw away the phone. I don't know what you think their techniques are, but they're going to get that if it's on your phone.
You gotta be smarter than that or something. Yeah. Like, put that in a black box somewhere. You throw that, in
the lake. That's what you can go get a new one. You
fly somewhere else and you throw it in the ocean. The lake is too it's crazy that nothing hasn't outright been done to extinguish or pull back what they done. Regardless, they took a Heisman away from Reggie for accepting money, and a university gets caught cheating, and it's how many months, whatever, after the fact, and regardless of the punishment or whatever, like nothing of the same has been brought up. And I understand, okay, ongoing investigation, whatever, you're dragging your feet. Because if it was anybody else, or if it wasn't Michigan or whatever else, if it was against, other people or whatnot, they would have blown the whole thing up. I'm interested to see what the text message say to kind of first, to get something off on. Don't want to jump the gun of two things. Obviously, deleted something. So something was, wrong. You knew right from wrong and something was there. But exactly to what extent, do those actually lead into things? I think, do you punish the university? Do you punish the players? Or do you just punish the guy that was who deleted the messages or, show that whatever he had going on? There's, three ways that you can necessarily go at it. I'm not necessarily all for punishing the players because, if you're higher ups gave you that and did that, you're just following, orders per se. So I'm not as mad at the players. I'm more so pissed off with the coaches of, you guys just got caught. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't necessarily be upset at, not so much punishment to the players, but more so loss of payment to the coaches or whatnot, or suspended for a period of time, or, taking a step away for whatever reason, because, it was that dramatic. But it's just sad that you stoop to those levels and everything like that to get things done. When you get the film, you know what I'm saying? You everybody shares the film. So it's not like you don't have, more things, an advantage or whatnot. You have superior players from what you say and whatnot. So, you got to push the limit onto that. It's just kind of sad.
Yep. And, if you want to make the argument too, maybe he was just doing that. I don't really know anybody that just deletes text messages for no reason, maybe to clear up space. But the 52 text messages those were all on the same day when the former Michigan staffer, Connor Stallions, when media reports revealed.
I got that phone. I don't have that phone. That's my wife's phone. Something like, you would have never got it. I don't know what you're talking about. That phone has been discontinued. When all that broke down, any traces are gone. Any way of what you think, I'm changing my number, a different area code, whatever we got to do. That phone's not being turned back on. Whatever, I'll put it in the microwave. I'm not doing that. So the fact that you kind of oblivious and thinking like, oh, that's enough, is crazy. So like I said, I mean, I'm anxious to kind of see exactly what is going on and to kind of see that documentary on Netflix come out. Because like I said, it can go two ways. He can either fully fall on the sword and just everybody blame me, or he could come out pointing the finger.
Yeah, this documentary, because this is what's interesting about this whole thing, is if you go from Michigan's point of view, Michigan looks awfully comfortable, like, in how the whole handling this entire thing. They kind of act like it's not going to be too big of a deal, that they're pretty much, yes, they're going to pay the price just to put it behind them, but they seem pretty relaxed. It's clear by the point, it's 2024 and they didn't know what device imaging was, or at least more didn't in this case. A little too relaxed about the whole thing. And how severe do you think this punishment's going to be? Like, if you were the NCAA, what is a fair punishment? I don't know if you can take back any of the trophies.
Ohio State got sanctions for players training memorabilia and signatures. They couldn't go to bowl games. They lost scholarships for 4 years, 3 years, or whatever. It's not as bad as what Penn State went through, and it's worse than what Ohio State went through. So something's got to give. I feel like some sanctions, I don't care if it stains the Big Ten a little bit. Like, y'all need to not be able to go to bowl games. Like, I feel like that would only be fair. I don't know about the whole scholarship stuff and everything like that, but I mean, you can't cheat your way and have film and go above and beyond, and that's okay. And you don't get made an example. If they don't handle this kind of harshly, you're opening a can of worms for everybody else in college football to, we can cheat. We just got to be smarter than Michigan to get away with it. So
I don't want to. It sucks because the players should never be the people taking the blunt of a blow. But unfortunately, there's got to be something, because this is, I don't care if it's lesser than cheating. Like, however you think of what it was cheating. By definition, they were cheating in terms of how they were scouting everybody. I'm curious. I hope this Netflix isn't like kind of a fluff piece where it's like,
I hope it's better
than
the Swamp Kings. The Swamp Kings pissed me off. So hopefully it's better than that.
I agree with you. Swamp Kings was disappointed. They left a lot of details out.
I think the punishments needs to be a little bit more severely than what Ohio State faced when they were trading stuff for tattoos. Like, that's a slap on the wrist. And if it's not at least minimum what the University of Ohio State got, I would probably be pissed off and mad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm with you. It's got to be severe. Do you take away postseason at all this upcoming season? Do you consider going that far? I think a coach suspension, absolutely.
Coach suspension for sure. I think effective immediately. I don't care if you're 12-0 again. Like, you can't. You won't be in the playoffs. Like, you did what you did. You knew what you signed up for. You knew what it was doing. Y'all got caught, and now you got the consequences of it. So regardless, it needs to take an effect immediately. Like, there's no we'll see after this year. No, because when Ohio State and all that stuff got happened, that next year that was done and over with. And I think the team that Zeke and them was on was like the first year of them being back. They had I think the year before that they were undefeated again, or something like that, and couldn't participate in stuff. So it needs to be effective immediately. That's not you get a slap on the wrist on this. No, whatever. Depending on what the messages are, depending on how bad it is, I think depends on how long the coach gets suspended. If he had a big part in it, that's a heavier fine. If it's a minimum stuff or something that's not really changing the tides, I'm really not. I mean, it is what it is. You just, hiding evidence. That should happen, but at least minimum, I think for at least the next 2 years, they shouldn't be able to compete for a national championship or in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's right now the allegation, just so we can kind of catch up, and this is why even Paul Feinbaum, you're hearing that they think it's going to be pretty light. Currently, just being accused of committing a level 2 violation, just according to the draft they wrote. A lot of this also, they got a allegation that Stallions of Michigan season opener against Central Michigan obtained Central Michigan's bench pass, wore Central Michigan coaching gear, and wore a disguise on team sidelines. So that's just ones we kind of know about. And like, this is why it blows my mind that you wouldn't want to be a little harsh on this. I don't think this is absolutely a thing you can stand for, because you're right in saying, why wouldn't people just cheat a little bit smarter? We saw how Michigan cheated. It was pretty wild and in the open, especially with like how they were buying tickets, and they got caught, and they're going to get a little bit of slap on the wrist here. I, just by seeing what happened to Michigan, could probably figure out better ways to cheat. And that's what scares me if you're just like too easy and light on this. I think Moore shouldn't probably coach really at all this season if he's connected to it at all. Now, depending on what those 52 text messages there are, maybe they really are just kind of going back and forth like, hey, what happened? If that's the case and he just deleted him trying to save his guy, I think a lesser violation. But if he was aware what was going on and just trying to cover up his tracks, I don't think you let him coach all year either. But that's just where I'm at. Where do you think the punishment's actually going to sit, though? I mean, we think it'd be harsh, but if you had to take a wild swing at it.
If Harbaugh got 3 games for whatever his involvement and everything like that, or self-appointed punishment, how many games is total in the Big Ten? And is what, 12 or 10 total?
Yeah, conference games you're just talking about total?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're going to play like, what, 3 non-cons?
Yeah, so I would say at least 6 or 7 suspension games. I think out of the 6, probably 4 of the 6, suspended without pay. The dude still has a family and everything like that. So, I mean, given that and whatnot, and there's I would say at minimum, a 2-year ban punishment on, them competing for a national championship. I think that's fair. Like I said, that regardless of how minor they think they did, what y'all did is worse than Ohio State trading stuff for tattoos. It's worse than what Johnny was doing down at A&M. Like, y'all actually got caught doing certain things. Mind you, if you go back a year before, TCU knew that they were stealing their signs and changed what the call was at halftime. So you can at least go back a year and say, okay, like, y'all have been cheating at least for 2 years, let's just say. So,
yeah. And when did that? And this is what I think it's overlooked. And now I think Jim Harbaugh is a good coach, but when did Michigan really start picking up steam? Kind of traces back with the cheating. Like, all that stuff kind of seemed to go like side and side. Now I still think Michigan was a better program.
I wouldn't say that, because I mean Michigan was still at least a 10-win season, 10-win program at least.
It was bumpy.
Not counting the last 3 years. Not counting the last 3 years. The years that they have been successful and whatnot. If you go 3 years prior before that, if they would beat Ohio State, they would have probably been in the Big Ten championship. Or if they'd have beat Penn State, they would have been in the Big Ten championship. So it's not like they weren't not good. Ohio State just might have been on one of those runs where they were significantly more better than those teams or whatnot. So I'm not saying they've been cheating this whole time, because Harbaugh has put together, a successful team. And that's wherever he's been at, they've been a tough team. So I'm not going to say it's been the whole time he's been there, but I would say probably, after the 4th or 5th year of them losing to Ohio State, because like I said, if they'd have won Ohio State, they would have been in it. They would have been in the Big Ten championship. They'd have beat whoever and probably been in one of the big time bowl games that Ohio State have been in. The games that we've seen Justin Fields in, the games that we've seen CJ Stroud in. If Michigan beats them around those times, Michigan is in those games instead of Ohio State. So I'm not saying exactly when, but I would probably say somewhere along the lines of shortly after that, probably.
Sid, you're kind of there. I'm kind of with you, but so he got there 2015, and he was playing. It was good football. I mean, he wasn't coaching a miserable team. He did hit some speed bumps.
They've been going to bowl games since he got there. They at least been winning 8 games at least.
Yep, first year Citrus Bowl. They did go. They went 10-3, 10-3. 2017, little bumpy 8-5. Back to 10-3 in 2018. 2019 is where they go 9-4. 2020 gets weird. COVID. But they start off abysmal. They actually go 2-4 to start off 2020 with COVID, players being out. You can kind of chalk that up to just a weird season overall. But then 2021 is when things start taking over and Michigan starts running the Big Ten.
You could probably say COVID. You got more time to think and more ways and everything like that. When things open back up, so you kind of hiding in plain sight or not really because, people are happy to be there. So I'm not saying, right after COVID, but
I'm going full spin if I had to guess.
It's not like Michigan wasn't arguably competing to go to the Big Ten championship. Like ever since Harbaugh's been there, honestly, most years they've been one game away from going to the Big Ten championship, and that's literally their last game. They didn't beat Ohio State. You not going.
Yeah, because really, 2018 they would have had a chance if they could beat Ohio State, and even in that 2016-15. But all those other seasons outside of 23, 22, 21, they're still sitting there with 4 or 3 losses, sometimes even up to 5. So it's just really after 2020 is when everything came together, but it also seems to kind of weirdly align with the cheating scandal. So I would just, severe punishment, I think, is deserved. I don't think we're going to get it, though. Obviously, you just can't be throwing it off a hunch either. You have to have some real hard evidence. But device imaging, deleted 52 text messages. We'll hear what the Connor Stalions documentary actually looks like. But it's going to be interesting. Michigan will get hit, I'm almost certain, with some sort of penalty. We'll have to wait and see how severe it is. Kind of going based off what the majority of the media is saying. Guys like Paul Feinbaum, probably not going to be that severe, although we disagree that it should be. So don't go anywhere. We'll keep talking some more college football here on the Don't Punt Hour. We got the morning Pierson-El. The host is always streaming in. And if you guys want to join in, always feel free to do so. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Ready to add a dash of Southern flavor to your week? At Wings and Rings, their brand new Southern fried wings have arrived for a limited time. Indulge in the irresistible goodness of large, traditional bone-in wings coated in a crispy beer batter and fried to perfection. Try them with hot honey or any other sauces. And for those busy summer days coming up, look no further than their Southern Fried Wings Family Bundle. Wings and Rings, 2 Lincoln locations on O Street or Village Lane.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, 2-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
As a proud member of the Roofing and Solar Reform Alliance, Coalition Restoration stands out by providing thorough property assessments, personalized customer service, and top-notch craftsmanship. With years of experience in the industry, Coalition Restoration has built a notable reputation for having a team filled with skilled professionals and possessing the expertise to handle any roofing project, big or small. Visit their website today for a free roof assessment at www.coalitionrestoration.com or give them a call at 402-607-8186. Your business runs like a well-oiled machine. It's important that your actual machines do too. Stern is here to make sure you don't have to worry about that. They provide solutions for heavy equipment and automotive fuels, lubricants, and equipment guard options. And with Stern's commitment to customer service for the past 40 years, you know you have a partner to help support your operations for years to come. Contact Roger at Stern Company by calling 1-800-477-2744 or visit them online at stern.co. Stern Company, where problems meet solvers.
Rain, snow, or shine, John Henry's is here to keep your home's plumbing systems working properly no matter what kind of weather Nebraska throws at us. From unclogging toilets and drains to installing new water heaters and water treatment systems, John Henry's is your plumbing expert in the Lincoln and Omaha communities. Visit us at calljh.com or call
John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
Liberty Law Group is committed to the defense of liberty for those accused and the pursuit of justice for those injured. Liberty Law Group's relentless trial attorneys specialize in criminal defense and personal injury law. We believe in treating every client with respect, compassion, and understanding. We know that navigating the legal system is stressful and overwhelming, but Liberty Law Group will carry that burden for you. When you're facing legal issues, make the right call. 877-42-LIBERTY. That's 877-42-LIBERTY.
Ready to score big with your projects? Look no further than Edward Stone, the MVP of natural stone for over 2 decades. Edward Stone is cranking out over 30,000 square feet every week and offers a winning lineup of over 70 quality natural veneer stone selections. Their unbeatable variety and experienced team will ensure your project is a success, whether it's a home renovation or a commercial build. And hey, they're not just about stone. They've got an all-star lineup of fireplaces, cast stone, brick, and much more. Swing by one of their locations in Lincoln or Omaha today and experience the Edward Stone difference, your reliable choice for over 20 years.
Stevens & Smith Construction is a full-service, employee-owned concrete company that specializes in residential and commercial foundations and flat work. They've been a leader in the concrete industry since 1971, with nearly 250 employees combining for more than 2,000 years of service. With locations in Lincoln, Omaha, and Kansas City, they're united in quality, integrity, and professionalism to create excellence in construction. Learn more today at stevensandsmith.com.
Announcing Acres' end of summer sales event. Acres has dropped its prices on select late model John Deere tractors, combines, and corn heads. Act now and upgrade your equipment before harvest season. Trade in your old equipment today and get unbelievable discounts that could save you over $100,000. With great financing options and our A-plus support, there's no better time to buy. Visit your local Acres store or see the huge savings at acres.com. That's AKRS.com to see the best prices in the nation.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation right now at appliedconnective.com.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, DeMornay Pierson-El.
All right, welcome back into the Don't Punt Hour. Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. Got the camera fixed a little bit better, so if you're joining the streams, hopefully it's a little bit better of a product. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, X, Allo, Channel 961, even Amazon Prime. If you want to go that route, we're up there as well. But before we get anywhere else, again, 402-464-5685. That's the Start Hammond text line, because we're going to switch it up to Nebraska football. In particular, I want to talk about a few position groups. We had open practice. Obviously, you're not allowed to record, send out videos unless you had specific credentials, but people did get to see a little bit of few things in there. We did have Jay Foreman, obviously a former Husker himself, talked about the running back room, and he was pretty optimistic. Now, he doesn't know if there's necessarily going to be a bell cow, but certainly believes with that much talent in there, kind of the mindset of iron sharpens iron, with the addition of, you hope that the linemen, especially mainly juniors and seniors, if they continue to progress, you should see some sort of explosion in the run game. How confident are you, DeMornay, if at all, that this run game can continue making strides forward? Last year, Emmett Johnson didn't get to 1,000 yards, but there was certainly a stretch there where it felt like it was finally coming together and then just fizzled out at the end.
I think this year will be a completely different than what it was last year. Last year they were one-dimensional. Everybody knew what was going to happen. Everybody knew, they were sitting on, and even the short stuff or intermediate stuff that they were throwing, people were sitting on it. So the fact that you actually have, a passer in either guy that can, throw the ball up and down the field. We've seen both guys, throw the ball very, very well. I think that's going to take a lot of pressure off the run game and going to allow a lot of things. So I think, you're going to see a lot more explosiveness, a lot more big runs and everything like that this year with their new offensive line guys that they brought in, them being older and whatnot, guys from different conferences. And, you got a very diverse and experienced backfield, running back room. So I think, things will be way different, completely different from what, we've seen last year.
Do you like a bell cow sort of approach, or is that just total coaching from the couch? That's not even a real thing that you think about. Is that something where you even consider we need to get a bell cow, or do you not really care who it is as long as they're productive?
At some point in time, it's going to happen. If it's naturally, that will take its place and whatnot. Hopefully the coaches don't try and force it and whatnot. Even if they go, even into the season, you'll start to see, who's more creative, who's more explosive, who's actually better at just getting things done, or falling forward, or seems to always make the first two guys miss or runs through tackles and whatnot. So I'm not really concerned if it's not obvious or if it's not said right now, because when the game actually comes and when things start going on and whatnot, whoever the bell cow is, their presence will be known and known early.
So, in other words, not coach, just organically happens throughout the season.
I mean, neither one of these guys aren't Amir, aren't, Rex, isn't necessarily a Divine, Ozigbo.
Not even a Roy Halou Jr.
So, I mean, are they good backs? Yes. Do they have great tangibles and everything like that? Yes. But they're not once Rex was done, you knew who was going to be in there. Even when Rex was in there, Amir was giving Rex a run for his money. It's like, man, you don't miss. So I'm not saying that we don't necessarily have that with both of these guys. You got a guy coming in that necessarily didn't play in a conference. He's new to the offense, new to the league and whatnot. So kind of give him to kind of see some things and see what he does. And then you got a guy who's more comfortable with the offense and whatnot. He made steps and boundaries last year with everybody stuffing the box and whatnot. Now you got, you expand the offense a little bit more, kind of see what exactly he can do when, the box isn't stacked and, he does have an advantage with things and whatnot. So I think both guys have stuff to prove. I don't think we've seen the best of either or guy. And that's why I don't think you can't really, rush it. Because like I said, you've only been practicing. You can only get and see so much in practice. You're going to see a lot more in the game once, the live bullets actually start going and whatnot.
Well, now I ask you the hard question, and there is no wrong answers. This is totally speculation. But again, we're speaking about that running room of Nebraska. There's a lot of talent in that room, guys that all have a little bit of experience under their belt. Some of the guys, it's crazy that they're still even here. Talking about Ramir Johnson, he just seems like a lightning in a bottle that for whatever reason just hasn't seen a whole lot of consistent time out there. But it's been a Husker since, they can go back to 2021. You look at a room with Gabe Irvin, you got Ramir Johnson still, Emmett Johnson. You mentioned the transfer Dante Dowdell out of Oregon, and then Quentin Ives still there as well. How do you see that room shaking out? If you had to kind of pick a couple guys or even one guy that you really think is going to walk in with the job, those practices, I don't think we got a good idea on who that guy is necessarily going to be. Certainly kind of got the idea that Dylan Raiola is going to be the starter. Just break the ice on that one. That one seemed pretty clear. It hasn't been announced.
It hasn't been announced.
We don't know.
That hasn't been announced. So until it is announced, I'll continue to throw both guys in that quarterback spot. I mean, I feel like that's right.
Too. I'm with you.
But for the running backs, I would say it's between Johnson and the kid from Oregon State. Like, I think those are the two that have been unless Ramirez like shown something just out of pocket to where like, okay, you can't not have him on the field. I think it's between Emmett and the guy from Oregon, period. I just think when the ball was handed off to them, whether it was with the first group and, the kid from Oregon was with, honestly, the twos. He wasn't even with, the ones and whatnot. And he still was, breaking off runs and whatnot and doing things and whatnot. So I think your two guys that can take the league are those two. Now, who's it going to be? I'm not too sure.
Yeah, see, I'm going to lean. I think it is Emmett Johnson. I think he gets to hold on to it. Again, I have to really see what all those, especially we're at fall camp now, what it all looks like for those guys. But I would assume that his progression stayed continued. He seems like a guy last year that even though things kind of fizzled out at the end, was still working really hard, just with all the injuries piling up. Things just kind of started slipping away. Had a few games where we just had to get away from the run game, just try to stay alive. But Gabe Irvin, what do you got idea for him? I mean, he's heading in here. It's going to be his junior year now. Do you see him getting significant time? I kind of see him as like the.
Did he get hurt last year, right?
Yes.
That was a hip injury or something like that.
Let me double check, but we definitely lost him for a while.
I think he's more of a power back, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's why I kind of put him in that Gus Edwards. Like, he seems like a goal line guy. But Emmett could just be just as efficient there as well.
Again, like I said, I think he got hurt last year. Not to say, he's not out of it or whatnot, but I mean, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was like a hip or something.
Yeah, hip rehab.
It was a weird injury, but I mean, it's one of those ones you gotta like. It was kind of bad, if I'm not mistaken. But even with him there, like, yeah, he was a bigger guy. He was a downhill. Even when he's coming downhill, he was falling forward. But I don't think he can really, catch out of the backfield cleanly or as better as the other two guys. I'm not too sure if pass pro is a strong suit of his. Not to say that he can't do it. But I think we've seen both of the other two guys catch out of the backfield fairly consistent. And pass pro has been, fairly consistent. They're different types of backs. Not to say he's kind of one-dimensional. I think the other guys bring a little bit more pop to the table, more so than him. And I think with what they're trying to do and what they're trying to expand with what they're going to be able to do a lot more this year. I think we'll see a lot more the running backs out of the backfield catching the ball and whatnot, just because getting the ball out of Raiola's hand or Danny's hands quicker and whatnot. And even if you setting up the play action or whatnot, pass pro is going to be something that all the running backs are going to have to do good. You have a guy that has a big arm. You got guys on the outside edge and tight end that can fly. So I think the play action will be a strong part of this year's offense. You're going to have a guy in there that can do that. So we'll see where things go. I'm just not too sure with what I've seen. I like the other two guys a little bit more, and that's just nothing on him.
Yeah, and let me just add some context to though, because you were all right. It was his hip flexor, but it was not a pull. He did get a season-ending tear. He torn his hip muscles. That'd be the second time in just 3 years. So that's kind of the fear with him. And that was also around, I believe, not too far back. Ramir Johnson had the shoulder injury as well. Mm-hmm. So the running back room had injuries, but Ramir Johnson, he was about 800 yards at that time. He was on pace for 1,000, and he looked pretty clearly like the best running back. So with a lot of these guys, you just wonder what the track would look like if they stay healthy. I feel pretty damn good about the Nebraska running back room. Just the fact that we have options, as long as, again, we have a lot of these guys are still around because of injuries. So as long as just guys stay healthy, you should feel pretty good about that room. And of course, with the linemen, when you got a bunch of juniors and seniors, I expect a high level of play there as well. At that point, I mean, there's no time left. If it's not there by now, you're kind of after the college game days are over. You're got to be start working at NFL, or at least just should have it on the table by now. So with that being said, we'll throw it to our last break here. We wrapped up with the running back room. Then we're going to decide if it's Kool-Aid or proper belief. We're starting to get some coaches polls. Joe Klatt put out his preseason top 25 as well for college football 2024. So don't go anywhere. We'll keep it rolling here on the Don't Punt Hour with the Morning Pierson-El.
Ready to add a dash of Southern flavor to your week? Add Wings and Rings.
Can't hear you.